Hi. I wanted to talk a little bit about musical inspiration for a piece and how it can influence you. And sometimes this is a really good thing, and sometimes this could lead you very off track. Of course, I think that your thoughts come right through your paintbrush onto the page, the rhythm of the music, the lyrics of the music. There's so much in music that is super powerful to your thought process. So you could start on a piece and be in a certain frame of mind. And maybe say you're feeling joyful, you're happy or joyful, you're printing something that or painting something that is just joyful to you, and you're filled with joy and wonder, and the colors are light and vibrant, and you're just so into the moment. And then another song comes on that just touches your heart. It pulls your heartstrings. It's a heartbreaking song. There's so many out there. I mean, that's art, right? Art is a flow of ideas and emotion into lyrics or onto the page or in the musical score. And so you can be in this joyful moment all of a sudden, and the song comes on and it kind of takes you to this dark, melodramatic place. And the next thing you know, the colors coming in are a little more subdued. The light and lively strokes are getting heavier and more labored. And pretty soon your art piece has taken a new direction. And once that song ends, maybe they're about 3.5 minutes later, a new song comes on. And, if it's in another direction, you could just go like the wind with these songs. Sometimes I found it's better to listen to music without lyrics if you can come by it. If you like jazz, classical, bluesy riffs, stuff like that that don't have lyrics to it, perhaps that's better. Sometimes it's good to think about something positive, maybe have something written positive in front of you, like the word joy, 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 or the word peace, or something like that. And maybe have a selection of pictures laying on your table that signify peace to you. So if you're listening to a song, you feel like you're losing your feeling of peace, you can revisit that visual idea, because what comes through our ears and through our eyes is just really effective in what we're doing. Now, sometimes I've had this happen where I had a piece that looked joyful. Someone told me a heartbreaking story, and it ended up to be the saddest looking little face you ever did want to see. Um, it changed. I had worked for hours on the piece. Hours. The eyes were done. I always say if you got the eyes, you got the piece, right? The eyes were done, but as this girl told me the story, I started reworking the eyes. Next thing you know, totally different person, different eyes, different feeling. The whole painting took a new direction. So this tells me things about the feeling of the art coming out in the piece should not have its focus taken away, especially if you're using art for therapy to work through an idea. It's better to stay with that idea and let that piece come to fruition. And it's the same thing with something light and lively. Why take that away in the middle of a light and lively piece? Why visit a dark place when you're trying to capture that too? It's really something to think about. Lately, I have discovered the ancient poetry of a poet from Japan, and he wrote haiku. And I am taking up a new practice of writing a haiku and keeping it in front of me. Now, I don't use mantras myself. A lot of people in the world do. They're basically a phrase that you say over and over again to kind of get the gestalt of that feeling. And so athletes do it. We're going to win. That ball's going to go into his hands when I throw it. That ball's going to connect with that person. Positive thoughts, thinking. So I'm thinking I'm going to use a haiku that I've written for the piece of art as kind of my mantra, something that I'm going to say over and over to myself at a time when I feel like maybe my artistic way is wavering. It's going away from what I'm intending on the piece to be. It's going to center me back into that feeling of why I originally started it. Art takes on a life of its own. And so I want that life, that lifespan, which is the period of time that it takes to create a piece and then publish it. That's what I want to create. So those are some thoughts about listening to music, listening to people, listening to your own thoughts while you're working on your art. It can encourage you or discourage you. It can make it more interesting. It can take you off the trail, though, if you're not wanting that to happen, if you're easily misled, if you're a procrastinator, or you just like to go like the wind. It's something to think about. Plan on what you listen to.